Okay, so this video we'll be discussing about the job description, person specification, and job adverts. What's the difference between them, and what is the purpose of each of these? So once it has been decided that there's actually a post that must be filled in, vacant post, the Human Resource Management Department will find out exactly what tasks and responsibilities revolve around the job. A job description and a person specification or profile is written down and then it is jotted on for the AdWords. So the purposes of JD is that a job description includes details such as tasks and responsibilities that the successful candidate is expected to undertake. So this is something which is more about the job rather than the person who is applying for the job. This includes all the description, all the tasks and responsibilities, or all the skills that the applying candidate must have. It also includes the pay of the job and the expected holidays that are given for it. They also usually explain who a person would report to and whom they will be responsible for. So this is some sort of an hierarchy about the job. And one thing that you need to understand to differentiate between the person specification and the job description is that the JD is more about the job, while the person specification is more about the employee. Okay, so now let's move on to the person specifications. So the purpose of person specification is that it describes the qualities, skills, and qualification that applicants should have if they are to be considered for the advertised post. So I guess that by reading this, it's pretty much evident that the JD is more about the job, while the person specification is more about the employee applying for the job. Some aspects might be declared as essential and others as desirable. So whenever we are advertising for a job, we list down some of these skills or some of the qualities we'll be looking for in the applying candidates. So these qualities could be divided into two parts: essential and desirable. The essential are that let's assume that someone is applying for an accountancy job. So we would expect them that they have relevant accounting knowledge, they have relevant knowledge about the IAS, the accounting standards, and things regarding to it. But the desirable qualities would be their punctuality, their dependency, their performance. So these are desirable qualities. So, but still, all of these qualities will be listed down and would be advertised in the person specification. Moving on to JD. A job advertisement must be written so that only suitable applicants are attracted to apply. So whenever you are advertising for a job, you need to list down a proper job advertisement, which includes that enough detail that it conveys the message to these suitable candidates that they are being looked for and they should be applying for it. By which I mean that whenever I advertise for a job, I should have enough detail in it that the person, whoever reads it, knows that is the job meant for them or no, and only appropriate candidates apply to save their time as well as our time too. There should be sufficient detail to attract appropriate candidates and to deter those who do not have the relevant qualities. अब let's assume वही वाली मिसाल है accounting वाली कि I am advertising for an accounting related job, but I have never mentioned in it that I'm looking for people who have relevant degrees in the accounting field. So now people with an engineering background might even apply. अब उससे होगा ये कि उनका भी टाइम वेस्ट होगा कि उन्होंने प्रॉपर एप्लीकेशन फिल इन की, प्रॉपर फॉर्म फिल इन किया। अब मेरा भी टाइम होगा कि मैं पूरी सीवी पढ़ूंगा, मैं अपनी फिर उस पर जाकर मैं क्वालिफिकेशन देखूंगा इंजीनियरिंग। So this is something that neither of us want. For a practice question, explain the difference between a job specification and a person specification. A job specification is more related to the job, while the person specification is more related to the person being looked for the job. Details required in a JD, job advertisement, sorry. उसमें जॉब टाइटल होना चाहिए, किस टाइटल के लिए अप्लाई किया जा रहा है, कहाँ लोकेटेड है जॉब, क्योंकि किसी बिजनेस की मोर देन वन ब्रांच भी हो सकती है, तो वो पता होना चाहिए किस ब्रांच के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. essential skills, qualification and personal qualities, and sometimes desirable ones as well. तो ऐसी कौन सी एसेंशियल स्किल्स हैं? टीम वर्किंग है, लीडरशिप है, ये कौन सी स्किल्स है? क्वालिफिकेशन अकाउंटेंसी रिलेटेड, पर्सनल क्वालिटीज, पंक्चुअलिटी, ये सारी चीजें अब मेंशन कर सकते हो, और डिजायरेबल वाली भी. Brief detail of what the job involves. We'll continue with our example of the accountancy job. Brief detail of what the job involves. The job involves regarding taxation filing. The job involves auditing of the financial statements. So this could be written here. The pay and the conditions package. So we'll be explaining what the pay will be because it's important, and sometimes the law states as well that the pay should be clearly mentioned in it, so the candidates applying have a prior idea of what they're applying for, what pay they be expecting, and the conditions package, that what conditions must be fulfilled in order to achieve that pay. How to apply, for example, at certain jobs you have to apply by letter. Some include by telephone, by mobile phones, or online, which have some have the online application portals. And at times there is also the application form, or you just have to apply using your resume, which is the curriculum vitae. Whom to address the application to, like HR or the recruitment agency, because at times companies use these recruitment agencies to and outsource the process of hiring to them to save them time and the money of going through irrelevant applications. Moving on, when drawing up a job advertisement, the business must comply with all relevant employment legislation. As I mentioned, that at some places the law states that the pay should be clearly mentioned, the working hours should be clearly mentioned, and details like this, sorry, should be clearly mentioned in it. So this includes in the legislation, and the business should ensure that it is complying with it whenever applying, whenever posting for a job. It should ensure that the job advertisement does not imply any disadvantage to any applicant because of their religion, gender, any disability or sexual orientation. By which I mean that अगर मैं एक job post कर रहा हूँ तो उसमें किसी किस्म की discrimination नहीं होनी चाहिए, और मुझे ऐसा नहीं बताना चाहिए कि अगर आपका एक सर्टेन रिलीजन से, या आप सर्टेन जेंडर के हो, या आप में कोई सर्टेन डिसेबिलिटी है, आपकी सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन कन्वेंशनली है या कन्वेंशनल या कुछ भी है, तो उसकी वजह से आपको कुछ जॉब पे डिसएडवांटेज मिलेगा. At least these shouldn't be affecting the applicant's profile, and the application should be neutral based on these grounds. हाँ, क्वालिफिकेशन वगैरह ये सारी चीज़ों पे आप अगर डिफ्रेंशिएट करते हैं तो इट्स वेल एंड गुड, मगर आप किसी की रेस, किसी का जेंडर, किसी का रिलीजन, किसी डिसेबिलिटी या सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन पे आप उनको डिस्क्रिमिनेट नहीं कर सकते. Methods of reaching potential applicants. Recruitment agencies, sorry, रिक्रूटमेंट एजेंसीज इंक्लूडिंग ऑनलाइन एजेंसीज, हम रिक्रूटमेंट एजेंसीज के थ्रू कर सकते हैं. हेड हंटिंग होती है, जिससे आप जब देखते हैं कि आपके कॉम्पिटिटर के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कुछ एक्सपीरियंस लोग हैं तो आप उनको हंट डाउन करते हैं, उनको फिर आप निकालते हैं. अब एग्जांपल ले लेके चलते हैं. रिक्रूटमेंट एजेंसीज का एग्जांपल है कि इंडीड जैसे एक रिक्रूटमेंट एजेंसी है, मैं वहाँ पर अपनी अब वहाँ पर मैं पोस्ट कर दूँ अपनी जॉब, और मैं इंडीड को कुछ पे करूँगा तो वो मेरे लिए हायरिंग करे. हेड हंटिंग, अब लेट्स अज्यूम कि मेरा एक एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट है और मैंने देखा कि मेरे कंपेटिटर इंस्टीट्यूट में कोई ऐसा बंदा है जो बहुत मशहूर अच्छा पढ़ाता है. तब मैंने उस बंदे को हंट डाउन किया, उसको मैंने ऑफर की कि आपको इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में लेट्स अज्यूम एक्स मनी मिल रहा है, तो मैं आपको एक्स प्लस कुछ और पैसे दे दूंगा. ये मैंने हेड हंटिंग की, मैंने एक सर्टेन पर्सन को हंट डाउन करके उनको जॉब पे रखा. Government funded career job centers. Many countries have a network of offices to support job searches. Pretty much self explanatory. Internet sites. This might be through the business's own website or other specializing in job searches. अब अक्सर आपने देखा होगा कि हर वेबसाइट पे करियर्स का ऑप्शन होता है, तो आप करियर के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक करें तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जितनी भी ओपनिंग्स हैं वो आ जाती हैं. आप उसके थ्रू भी अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, बिजनेस उसके थ्रू भी अपनी जॉब एडवर्टाइजमेंट पोस्ट कर सकता है, और कुछ ऐसी वेबसाइट्स भी हैं जो स्पेशलाइज करती हैं इसी टास्क में. वन एग्जांपल बीइंग लिंक्डइन. लिंक्डइन पे मैं अपनी जॉब पोस्ट कर सकता हूँ, लोग अपनी जॉब अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, एंड jobs could be searched through that as well. Personal contacts. The people already in the business might know of suitable friends or family. अब एग्जाम्पल है कि मुझे कोई बंदा रखना है अपने ऑनलाइन इंस्टीट्यूट में। मैं अपने एग्जिस्टिंग एम्प्लॉय से पूछता हूँ, यार आपकी जान पहचान में कोई ऐसा बंदा है? वो कहते हैं हाँ है, मेरा फ्रेंड है, मेरा फैमिली मेम्बर है। मैं कहता हूँ ले आए, जॉब पे रख लेते हैं। इस तरीके से मुझे एडवर्टाइजमेंट कॉस्ट बच गई, मुझे ट्रस्ट के इश्यूज नहीं होंगे, क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि वो बंदा जो है ट्रस्ट वर्दी होगा। सो दैट हेल्प्स अ लॉट। Expert tip: when answering questions on human resource management, make sure that you do not confuse the recruitment process with the selection process, which was discussed in the previous video. और इसका पर्सनल कॉन्टैक्ट से एक डिसएडवांटेज ये हो सकता है कि अब मैं एक बंदे के कॉन्टैक्ट से उसी का कोई जानने वाला रखूंगा, तो हो सकता है कि उनकी लॉबी स्ट्रांग हो जाए एंड दे माइट इवन डिस्टर्ब द अदर एम्प्लॉइज। तो ये एक डिसएडवांटेज था जो मेरे माइंड में था, मैंने कहा डिस्कस कर लेते हैं। प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन एक और, आइडेंटिफाई 3 मेथड्स ऑफ रीचिंग पोटेंशियल एप्लीकेंट्स फॉर अ जॉब। तो ये सारे मेथड्स हैं, आप उनमें से कोई 3 मेंशन करके सिर्फ आइडेंटिफाई कर लें। सो दिस वाज ऑल फॉर दिस वीडियो, लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट वन।